It's time. It has begun.
Yeah, sorry for
The discussion of the Mythron cards. It's time. It has begun. Holy heart. We have actually started. Okay, so today it's a Mythron discussion. We are only going to do the 7 Mythron cards, and hopefully when they drop the rest of the cards, we'll cover those as well in another stream with Hacker and Dalbos also. And for those who do not know, for whatever reason, then Mythron cards is this new mechanic in Duelists that is similar to quests in Hearthstone, whereas when you put one Mythron card in your deck, you will always have it in your starting hand, and it will take up your 6th slot in your hand. And then we have a trial and a destiny. The trial is the condition for when the card is live, so it activates in your hand. And then the destiny effect is an effect like a opening gambit. So when you play the card afterwards for the rest of the game, that effect is live, even if the minion is killed. I think that covers it all. I think there's one for each class and then one neutral. So, and we're gonna cover it. Huh?
We will cover different bases of each card, basically. So we want to talk about power level, viability, and then the trial portion of it, if it's like how easy it is to achieve. And then, basically which kind of decks you can make with it. Because some of the Mythrons, they make it so that you can work with different deck types.
We're gonna cover them in the order that they were revealed, and we're just gonna start up with this one, which is the Songhai one, Hideatsu the Ebanox, which is a 0 mana 5/5. The Ebon, I guess so. It has a trial that says summon 7 minions from your action bar with different costs, and a destiny that says summon friendly minion or summon friendly minions to deal their cost as damage to an enemy. It's a bit weird that it doesn't say summoned as a past tense, I guess.
This means that if you play an Ash method, then you can do 3 times 5 damage, for example, because it's from the action. Yeah.
Oh shit! I actually didn't even think about that.
It's funny, but I don't know if it's really because you need Ash method in your deck, which is
it's the 5-drop you need.
You need a 5-drop.
Yeah.
But what you do in this, I think you can do it with all the generals, but I think it's best with Reva or Kalios. Just trying to play a normal curve high, and then, well, if it's me personally, I would always, as the 5-drop, put in a Dancing Blades.
Yeah,
because I love that card. But you could also argue that Geomancer could be a thing, or other new 5-drops that we get that we don't know about. But we'll see.
Basically, there's no 0 cost Songhai right now, so you have to go 1 to 7, right? But we think if there's a new 0 cost, it's gonna change the viability of this card completely.
But I think that we don't know this yet. Yeah. But let's just say that 0 mana cost cards in the past, they have been a little bit problematic to some extent. It's
unlike some of the Mythrons we'll see later on, I think this is actually the most generic of all of them. Whereas you can probably put it in all of your decks unless you're full spell high, right? But any minion-based Songhai deck, you can put this in, and you just have to fit in the one missing mana link that you might have. In a classical Songhai control list, it's the 5 mana that you're missing. So like Henry said, it's gonna be the sword thingy.
Yeah, Dancing Blades.
Dancing Blades, yeah. And because you have, for 7 mana you have EMP unless it gets nerfed, and then 6 you have Sendo, 5 you have now Dancing Blades, and 4, like, you have everything already. So there's no reason to play this, because it's just a free card on your 6th slot. It doesn't take up one of your draws.
And I think you would even play maybe the new Cold Fist as the 4-drop.
Yeah,
it's also an option. In different builds, especially Kalios.
Which 4-drops could you play before or already outside of Cold Fist?
I think 4 Winds Magi is generally speaking good. And Thunderhorn is obviously very good.
Oh, Thunderhorn. There you go.
Sunsteel. Thunderhorn is unfortunately, but I think, I'm not, of course, sure, but I think maybe they might even nerf Thunderhorn. I don't think it's open personally. I don't think it's, but they have in the past nerfed stuff because the community is whining. The community is whining about Thunderhorn every day.
Yeah, so, I'm one of those. Then I'm whining.
Yeah,
but specifically Thunderhorn, I think even if you nerf Thunderhorn, if you don't nerf the mana but just nerf like 1 health or something, right? I think specifically in Songhai you're still gonna play it because you have all these movement effects. It synergizes with that faction.
Actually, I will open the Bakun website so we have it.
Yes, but yeah, I think for this Hideatsu year, I don't think you're gonna see decks that. It doesn't really lend itself to decks that build around it. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna play the combo that Henry mentioned before with Ash Method. I don't think that's worth it. I think the point of this card is to just, it's a free card. If your deck is close to being able to summon it, you just slot in Dancing Blades or whatever you're missing, and then you go with that. You put in good minions. If you're missing a 1-drop, you put in Blood to your Alchemist, and then it might come out, but it might not come out. It's just a free 0-mana 5/5 that will end the game eventually with its burst potential or damage over time. So,
by the way, Flame Wraith is also a 4-drop. Good play.
Yeah. So, do you have any last thoughts on Hideatsu, or should we move along?
No, maybe, I mean, my personal opinion, you also stated it a little bit, but this card is actually, I mean, it might be good, but it's one of these situations where you can just throw it into any kind of deck and maybe you'll get it out. Build a strategy around it, and I don't like that personally. It makes it so that, you know, it doesn't make it start going for a special strategy or something. It's just a normal deck, and then you have this one inside, compared to what we see at some of the other Mythrons, which definitely open up new strategies. And
yeah, I agree. Okay, that's the wrong one. I hope it loads. Yes, nice. It's Underlord Soxel. What a fucking stupid.
Yeah, and Cesar too. You ask a question which is actually, it's relevant for all the Mythrons, I suppose. It's a decreased hand size worth that chance, and yeah, I would say it's all the Mythrons are indirectly a Starhorn buff to some extent, because it makes the tectonic spikes even better, and the general. But I think having one extra card in your hand during the entire game is just not so bad, even though you cannot play it instantly. Just the off chance that you get to play it, and it wins you the game, basically. It's so good.
Yeah.
Of course, not all Mythrons should just be thrown into a deck, but...
No, but this one we just covered, like...
No reason. Yeah, exactly. Starhorn buff is not good. And I think... Yeah, maybe now we have Ambition, but let's talk more about motherfucker Starhorn when we get to that market. Yeah.
Okay, so the Ambition Underlord Sorcel, it's fucking whatever name. Okay, so it's a 6-mana, 6/1, so they're not all 0 manas as we saw before. And the Trialus casts 6 spells that destroy a friendly minion. And the Destiny, whenever a friendly minion dies, resummon it on a random space. So
the Songhai is 0 mana, though, now that you talk about mana cost, is because the Destiny activates like the opening gambit, which means if the Songhai one was 5 mana, then it would instantly do 5 damage as well. Yeah. But this doesn't, because it's 0 mana. But
yeah. But this one, it seems a little bit weak. Unlike the other one, I think you have to commit more resources to build a deck around it. And it also depends on how it works. We have discussed this. Does it work from only spells that says destroy a friendly minion on them? So things like Ritual Banishing. Yeah. Or can we, for example, can I punish my own minion and then it works? Does the card just have to say destroy on it and then it checks whether or not I target my own or target my opponent? Or can I even use something like... Yeah, can I even use something like ping a minion and it, like, if it's the friendly minion, does it then activate?
Yeah, your boy Josh, I think That's also, we're not sure.
Yeah.
But we cannot know for certain. It's one of these hashtag discoverable frustration. Soon TM to be explained how it works. We cannot know for sure because it's duelist.
Yeah.
But if punish, for example, works, then it's much better and more versatile than if not. For example, if you just need that last one. What do you think about Monk? If you make this card work, would you then have a normal big Lilith, for example, or would you have a Maeve that focuses 100% on just destroying your own minions 24/7?
I think trying to use Maeve's BBS 6 times is gonna lose you the game straight up. So you need something else. You need some synergy outside of your own BBS. But 6 times, man, that's a lot. It depends. Like if I can necrotic sphere my opponent's minions and have one of my own die also, if that works, I think I'm more on the Lilith part where I can. I think I'm gonna go swarm a bit, like mid-range Lilith with the Darkfire Ritual, because that's basically the best one you can play, right? The best sacrifice thing you can play. And
that's why I think big Lilith is natural for this card.
Yeah.
Also because you can actually cheat that one out pretty early, because you also get a discount on this, I suppose. It doesn't say that Mythrons are unaffected. It's just a normal minion.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. But because that Undersoul or Underlord is a free card that you get that also transform all of your minions into like crazy late game minions, right? I don't think you go as heavy in on the late curve in your deck. I think you stop at 6, and you might even stop at 5 actually, if it's consistent enough. Because if you play Underlord, you have to build your deck around this strategy, whereas Ebernox, it's more about another strat, like play your random strategy or play your whatever, and then sometimes it works, right?
Yeah, and actually you can never play anything but Desolator, for example. If you play one Desolator with this card active, you have Desolators forever, so you can just spend 2 Desolators every turn forever, and you can never draw another card because it will just get burned every time.
Yeah. But yeah, in the discussion of me and Henry have talked about this before, but I'm gonna bring it up here. Lilith versus Maeve, right? We think that Lilith is better because Maeve has 1 BBS that can proc it, but having targets to use your abilities on is way easier with Lilith, and things like with Maeve, if you go in and you also put in Ritual Banishing, you also put in Ritual Banishing, where are your targets gonna come from? You have your BBS, you have Ritual Banishing, you have Darkfire Sacrifice, you have maybe some other cards as well, some control cards. You don't have enough minions to cover that. I think it's way easier to have Lilith give up the BBS from Maeve and just put in more cards that can sacrifice, because Lilith generates these 1/1s for free, right? So I think that's going to be more consistent. But overall,
also, Jim knows something interesting, that apparently all spells count, also Cassiva's BBS or Phoenix firing your own minion, for example. That.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I don't know if it changes a lot, but it's interesting, definitely.
Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to hear. So I can play my AoE, kill everything around me, and make 1/1s. And if there's one of my own 1/1s, it procs also, right?
I can imagine doing a Cassiva deck, depending on how much creep support we get, when you focus on being a bit aggressive with Desolators and pinging your own Desolators, because you did that beforehand anyway. And then just having this as an alternate late game win condition. If you ping your own Desolators every turn late game, at one point you have enough.
We already saw that.
Cassiva is this thing.
Yeah. That could work actually, but that's extremely slow. You have to ping your own thing 6 times, and if you're
I'm not saying that this would be an Underlord deck. I'm just saying it could be an aggro Cassiva deck, which actually has a late game win condition. Like we already saw a very good aggro Cassiva deck. It's just something to consider, I would say. And you can also, I guess, punish your own stuff if you really want to squeeze it out a bit faster. Yeah, and you can even make a build of this Cassava deck that plays Darkfire Sacrifice, I think.
Yeah, to rush things out.
Yeah, we did that before, didn't we? Or even play Darkfire Sacrifice in this. What's the card named? The 5-mana spell that resurrects 2 minions.
Summoning Circle.
Yeah, if we played, for example, that, and then ping your own Desolators late game or whatever, I think it can be viable, at least to have it in your deck. The Underlords.
Yeah, you may. Non-verbal mentioned Upon Rebirth also. Again, coming back to this, if it's spells that just overall benefits you from, okay, one of my guys died, okay, whatever. I think that works. We don't want to play things like, what's the one that just kills a dude and resummons it?
Something summoning.
Yeah.
No.
Summoning
Rebirth.
Unbirth, yeah. You don't want to play the 2-mana thing that kills one of your own things to summon it again. I think in general, you want to play the cards that are already played and just play a bit more of them to get the strategy. Or, because it's free, unlike in Hearthstone where you sacrifice one of the cards in your hand to get the quest instead, this one is your 6th card. It's a free card. So, you can maybe just put it in, and like Henry said, in some aggro deck that randomly is able to destroy your own minion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's not Abhorrent Rebirth, but Unbirth. That's what.
Consuming Rebirth is the one that. Okay.
Consuming Rebirth is the one the 1 minion.
And just to summon it up in the end, Blood Echoes and Consuming Rebirth, they both only count for 1. If you kill 10 of your own guys in 1 turn, it's only 1 spell, because it's spells that they count. So, no trickery there. But I think...
Do we have other kinds of spells?
Yeah, my verdict on this is that it's one of the weaker Mythrons. It's pretty hard to activate. But, when it hits, you just... How do you lose? Yeah. You have endless Desolators.
But you might be in a situation where it's just too late. Like we see with Variax, you can be rushed down, and it doesn't really matter if you make 2/5/5 if you're dead next turn.
Yeah,
it's late game control. You cannot win against this unless you have endless Eternity Painters and or Blood of Airs. I know when I play against Vitruvian, it usually feels like they have 8 Blood of Airs on the hand. It's endless deposit of that shit. Fuck, I hate that card. Well, that's
yeah. So, probably not gonna be meta, but it might.
I want to play it.
Yeah, I'm still gonna try it out. So, this is the one.
Wait. Close your eyes if you cannot look at diseases and ripped limbs and stuff. If you're sore to cancer and blood, then close your eyes now. So now, yeah. Oh my goodness, it hurts.
Just the hate.
Feel the hate.
Open the hate. The hate gate.
You can leave the chat now, chat, because this is getting ridiculous now. Yeah, what do you think about this? No.
So basically,
Hate Furnace, Mythron, which is 5/4, and when you cast 5 spells that give us plus attack, minions summoned will gain Rush and Frenzy, which means if you play this card, your opponent will rage quit. It's easy to get the 5 spells off. First of all, we have Greater Fortitude is a very good card. Diatide Frenzy is one card that you could play. You can play the Amplification, which is nice with the new Scorn-looking mage called Crater. It's 3/4, and it has a Scorn effect when it comes out. But it also damages itself, so it's a 3/2 potentially. No 2/3. But then you can amplify it, and then you already have a good plus attack. And I think those are the best ones, right? Maybe Primal Ballast could even be a thing. I don't know if it's good. We want to make a Primal Ballast version with something like the Erratic Rapture and stuff, for example, that just have the extra. But I think we agree that we would play this card in a deck that's not necessarily going super big. more like with small minions that also gain the Russian Frenzy. Maybe even playing Phalanx, but yeah.
Oh, Phalanx. Yeah, I think you're just gonna play aggro Starhorn basically, right? And there's two different builds. There is the like you mentioned, amplification build where you play the new Scorn, damage your own things, and buff it up with amplification because amplification is so insane when you get it off. +2/+4 for 1 mana. It's crazy. And the other build is the Dispel build where you play what's the name?
Brown Ballast, maybe.
Yeah, Brown Ballast. Like you said, on Erratic Rapture, the new 4-drop, the new 3-drop that deals damage to yourself. And there you already have 9 minions that benefits from being dispelled, and you can probably find another one. There's the 2/8 or 3 mana, which doesn't care if it's dispelled. You can play it on that too. It does say that they gain Russian Frenzy, so I actually don't know how that works. You can dispel those away again, right? Or will they regain it again until they aren't dispelled?
I think it says minions summoned from your action bar gain this. Okay, so it's definitely dispellable afterwards. It's not a passive effect. So they gain it when you summon them.
Yeah, so maybe the amplification route is better for Hate Furnace. But it's not. You don't have to use targeting spells. We can use what's it called? The 3 mana thing.
It's called the zone. Yeah, maybe the chat can help us out here.
Yeah, there's a 3 mana card. Yeah, that in 2x2 tiles.
It's called. Yeah, I will find it on here.
Yeah, it's 2x2 tiles. Take 2 damage. Yeah, kinetic equilibrium, exactly. You can use that even to proc this. So if you want to go a little bit more control-y, maybe, or even just more aggro, it synergizes with amplification too. So you could use kinetic equilibrium, full aggro, amplification, greater fortitude, and just Starhorn to refill your hand because you also counter all of the other people who play these kind of cards. And then in the end game, you just Russian Frenzy, whatever. So it's gonna be pretty disgusting, I think.
Yeah. There's also some merit of playing Blood Rage in a specific Twin Blades deck, but I don't know if it's just win more at this point. I feel like Blood Rage is just if you play this, you already win, kinda.
Yeah. I think you might as well try to build up Hate Furnace, right?
But I think that most Magma decks, no matter how big they are, they will try and run Greater Fortitude, for example, and one more buff spell just to have this card. Because it's really, really, really strong on all Magma cards. I mean, I even want to play Phalanxar in my Magma deck, just because it's a 6/1 with the Frenzy and Rush.
Yeah. But 5 spells still. I think you need, for it to be kind of consistent, I think you need 9 to even 12 things that buff. And the only real good one is Greater Fortitude right now. Amplification is maybe. So.
Amplification might be very good, but might also be. But there's also, of course, the chance that we get another one. I have a feeling that they might give a new spell for Magma with give plus attack since they make this Mythron. Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
I think that makes sense.
If we get one more really good plus attack spell, I think I will just climb up the highest tower I can find.
It's the 1 mana +4 attack, that's it.
One thing that we can say for sure about this minion is that it will live up to its name, Hate Furnace. I feel like I will tilt so hard. It will be so uphill. You know, imagine you have a lava slasher which comes out, makes an intellectual, philosophical attack, and afterwards it turns into beast mode and rushes you and frenzies. It's just completely bonkers and oblivious to every sense of meaning in life. I mean,
Yeah.
And yeah, even a young Silithar with Rush Frenzy can be super annoying.
Yeah, it's just gonna kill some shit while dealing damage.
Or Elucidator or whatever. Yeah.
Elucidator. So, is there anything more to say about Hate Furnace? It applies the effect to itself, in case we didn't mention that. So even it's not even, I'm on the back foot, I have to play this and then something else. It's just Hate Furnace, it's a Mythron that deals more damage, fuck you. Oh, I have 2 extra mana, I guess. Phalanxar, it's a Psycho Mercantor, fuck you. And with all the buffs, you can buff it, so... Yeah. This is my least favorite Mythron. So, let's see what happens.
But at least we can say it fits into the theme of Magma. But maybe it fits a little bit too well in the theme of Magma.
Yeah. Moving on?
I think
or?
that's exactly your boy, Josh. I think you would not play Mercantor in all the Hate Furnace decks even, because it's,
No, you get a... What's the new thing? A 7-6, right?
7/6
for 4 mana?
Yeah. 11 damage. Yeah. Yeah, the new Starhorn thing that also draws cards for your opponents will be a bit crazy. Yeah, I think Unstable Leviathan Gym will not be good. It's fun, but it's pretty shitty, I think.
Okay. Let's move on before we get too hateful.
Yeah.
It's Oak. Oak in the
town.
meme town.
Oak in the meltdown town. Yeah. Which is funny in the way that it's an oak. We have the Hate Furnace born from the fiery pits of a volcano lava, and then we have a tree in the forest. It's a little bit of contradictory, and it doesn't look like an oak.
Peace and equilibrium, bro.
Hmm.
Okay, so Oak in the meme town, Nematon. The name is fucking stupid. It's a 6 mana 6/6, so it's straight out of hell. It has a trial, unlike the other ones where it counts up something throughout the game. This one, it says have 5 token minions with different names, so it's a board-specific condition. Sometimes your opponent's gonna fuck you up and you're never gonna have it, and other times you can get it in one turn out of nowhere where they don't see it coming, right? And the Destiny effect you get, friendly token minions have +4/+4, and it's just they have it constantly. So even if you dispel them, they still have the effect. The effect isn't tied to each minion. It's tied to like a global something effect.
Exactly. Overall, I kind of like the card. I like that they give some more tools for token decks. Like we have in the past, at least Monk and I have really experimented on making a good Kara deck.
Yeah.
And with a lot of tokens, like we love Voice of the Wind, for example. I know at least I do. I think you do as well.
I do as well. It's one of my favorite cards.
We just had this issue that people would just run EMP and then the deck dies. This card actually makes it so that maybe if you get these 5 tokens out, you cannot die to EMP instantly, which is funny. I think we will definitely try and make some decks with this card. I like it, but I think it's also super hard to achieve the condition, though.
5 different tokens. What?
Yeah.
That's 5 different cards from your hand, and you have to make them survive or play them in one turn. That's really hard to do.
Yeah, I think you can get some easy ones. Like the easy one would be the Circulus Illusion. That's an easy one to get.
Yeah.
And it's kind of easy to have one wall stick, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Realistically. And I think the new 2-drop with Intensify makes some treants. It's cheap and it gets a token. But afterwards that, we are starting to run low. I guess you can a Winter Myriad from Voice of the Wind.
Yeah, but that's a combo card. You need 4 mana and something else, right? It's not easy.
Yeah. No, but I think you will need this one, Myriad, to get it. And then the 5th, I don't know what it should be. Maybe an Arcanist from the Night Howler. It's called Kindred Hunter. Yeah. I would love the Chimera deck, but I think Chimera is 8 mana, so...
Try to play Chimera in Vanar, what the fuck? Good luck, man.
Yeah, risky business. But I like the thought, I mean.
Yeah.
And there's also the consideration that Mechasaur is a token. I don't know if it matters. But
you just need 5 different Mechasaurs.
Just Mechasaur is one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. It does... I think the best part about this deck is that if you play... Let's say the 2 mana wall thing, where they usually just don't care about it. Now they have to care about it, right? The 2 mana make 3 walls that are also Vesper. I can't remember what the fuck that's called. But I think the hard thing about Oak is that, oh yeah, that's a detail I found out about. The card activates in your hand, so you don't have to have 5 tokens and also 6 mana to play right away. You can have the 5 tokens, then bring, or whatever effect they have, the card is then active. So even if they kill your tokens, you can still next turn play it. And then it works. So the mana cost isn't that bad for it. So yeah, I think it's very interesting. I like these trial minions that have some condition on the board, because then your opponent can change their playstyle to like try to stop it. Whereas if you're against Starhorn and they play a buff, what can I do? I can't play a minion that stops them from playing buffs. So
I guess you can play.
You can actually.
I guess you can play Mage Sworn.
Yeah.
I guess that's one thing.
I don't know what this. It's an entirely new deck you have to build for this card, which is kind of nice, but it's also really hard to do, I think.
Yeah, but I think we can make it work somehow after a while. And I think it would be a Kara deck probably, not an Elena deck.
The new freeze thing is kind of okay for Elena, but that's the only thing, right?
That's a token, yeah, true. But Elena can also stall them from not being able to maybe kill your tokens. I mean, that's the idea. But yeah, let's see what happens. We also need like 70 new cards to look at, or 50 new cards maybe.
I think it's more like 100.
Yeah. No, we have 100 total, but we already saw some. That's what I mean.
Yeah. 50 more from now on. Yeah, you're right.
The expansion is 100 total. Yeah.
Okay, so, that's Oak in Meme Town.
Which is good. A new form of Vanna deck is always welcome in my book.
Yeah, I agree totally. A minion based one, which is never gonna happen because EMP fuck you.
Yeah,
I think that's the story of the entire expansion. If they have to nerf EMP, otherwise all these new things are just, hey, it's fun, but it's never good.
Yeah, exactly. Here we have the notion of starless eternity. Luckily, it's only a notion of it. Otherwise, we'll be flying around for pretty long. How can a monk-looking prophet be the entity of a notion of a starless eternity? It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And apparently it's not really eternity, since you only need to get to the other side of the field. I mean, notion of a starless boundary. Notion of starless 10 tiles. Yeah, so it says your general needs to reach the other edge of the battlefield with an equipped artifact. What this means in practice is you need to get to the opposite edge of where you start, and you need to have an artifact when you're on that edge. It doesn't matter if you equip it before you go there, when you are there. If you equip it on your side of the field and then fly there with your general, it's completely fine. As long as you are on the opposite edge and you have an artifact, which is easy to achieve, I think it should be doable. Yeah. Then Destiny, instead of just writing what the card does, like that would make sense, then they tell you that your general reaches a tier of ascension for each artifact, which means if he equips one artifact, he has Frenzy. If he equips 2 artifacts, he has flying. Yeah. If he equips 3, he has Celerity, which is obviously really cool. And then if you lose your artifacts along the way, then you also lose your tiers of ascension. But you will always be able to get them again next time you equip artifacts again.
If you have 2 artifacts, that's Frenzy and Flying, you lose one, you still have Frenzy, you lose Flying. There's always this order to it.
It's always Frenzy, Flying, Celerity.
Yeah, and if you equip one again, then it's Flying again. It doesn't skip a step.
And this makes it so that basically playing one artifact and this in any kind of vet deck is probably worth it, because even getting General Frenzy for free, I mean, why not? It's quite good. Then there are the option of playing it in Sarge. I mean, if you look at the other cards in this expansion, there's a lot of artifact support, and they want to give Sarge some support, or artifact vet in general, which is also nice, because it pushes the golem focus a bit away, we can hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
Golems. Golems are too generic. Search for golem, put all
But
golems.
you know what? There's a flying golem that gives you an artifact.
Yeah.
So it's probably just going to be, hey, I'm golem. Let's play golems and Notion of Starless Eternity. Notion of Starless Golemity. Like yesterday, was it yesterday? 2 days ago? We played with Hager, and basically he played an aggro deck and happened to have pushed his opponent up into the corner. And if he had Notion of Starless Eternity, he could just play it. That would be active. He didn't care about, like, it wasn't a deck builder around that at all. So I think, like Henry said, you can just swap it into anything that has an artifact. But there's some different ways to achieve this effect. There's the classic, I'm trying to move across the board. Maybe I have a, what's the thing, the jumper thing?
Silhouette Tracer.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I have a Silhouette Tracer in the deck also, but otherwise I'm just classic Stash or whatever. And then there's the version where you go all in, where you have Neuralink to give you a general flying for 1 turn, fly to the other side. Like, you play a golem, it has flying, you get an artifact, you play Neuralink, fly to the other side, and then it's live, right?
Yeah.
And just like Oak, it activates in your hand, so you don't have to reach the point and then play it right away. You can reach the point, and then it activates in your hand, and then you can play it at a later point where you have the mana for it.
And I think we will also see some kind of build with the Sarge, with the OTK version, with the Aurora's Tears. So you equip 3 artifacts, then you have Celerity, then you do Aurora's Tears, and you hit for approximately 1 million damage 2 times. And then you win the game from there. That's one thing. And you even get Frenzy, so you cannot get provoked away from victory. Of course, that needs some setup, and you also need to get to the edge first of all. But
I don't think it's that hard.
It's not that hard, and I think the deck will definitely be better. It was already viable before, I would say. It has some inconsistencies to it, but now it's better. So let's see what happens with it. OTK, in my opinion, is always bullshit, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
I like it a lot. It's the one that influences the playstyle the most of them all, where you can, your opponent's trying to move and you're putting minions in the way to constantly block them, which makes it interesting because you can see from in the start of the game, if they have 6 cards in hand, like 6 cards in hand, they probably have this guy because it's the only one they can play, except the neutral one. But we'll see that later.
Yeah, what we are coming to here is that there's also counterplay to it, just like there's counterplay to Oak in the Meme Town, but not any counterplay to the Songhai or the Magma one, which is a bit sad and disappointing.
Yeah.
But this you can play around.
Yeah.
And I think it's a cool card. I think it's such a cool concept. Also playing on the board like that. That's what we want in Duelist, right? That's what the community wants, at least.
Yeah, I love it a lot. It's really nice. Okay. The last one on the last of the class specific one. The faction specific ones. Is Grand Strategos.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Because I have an affection for Zoo decks in Lionel. And well, what does it do? If you summon 10 minions with 1 or less attack, then you get the trial fulfilled. And it says summon, it doesn't say summon from your action bar. That opens up a lot of options for memes that you can do. Like, for example, if you play a Jaxi, that's already 5 stacks. If you play a Jax True Sight on 6 mana, that's already 5 stacks. A 6 will be 2. And and the destiny is that you promote other friendly minions by the end of your turn, which means instantly. And promote means that they will grow to a new faction, a Lionel faction minion, 1 cost higher than it already was. So let's say you activate this Grand Strategos while you still have a Jax True Sight and 4 mini Jaxes on the board. Just let's say they don't kill it. Then you play this and you will have 4 2-drops and 1 7-drop. So they all grow 1 at the end of your turn, which is pretty powerful.
Pretty good.
It will stop at the 8-drop, and that will be an Excelsius for the Liner, unless we get another 8-drop in this expansion. But right now it can only end in Excelsius at 8 mana. And if you already have an Excelsius, then it will transform into a new fully full health Excelsius at the end of the turn. So
basically, you play Jack's true side in this deck.
Yeah, and it's a Lionheart deck, and I think it's designed in the way that it should be in Brome, because if Brome uses his PBS, then he makes a 1/2, and that fits the theme, right? So he can just get one more minion. But I also think it's viable in Argent. I want to try and make an Argent deck with the new 3-drop, the 3/2 intensify, get 1 Legion in your hand, or I guess they're called Legions, right? Basically, the minion that Rome
does something.
What?
Oh yeah, Legion is the guy that is.
The minion is called Legion.
Yeah,
but he makes
Crestfallen. I think they're called
Crestfallen. True. So the intensify, put 1 Crestfallen into your deck or whatever, or in your hand.
Yeah.
So you can easily just play him and then have enough. It's no, his PBS is called Conscript, I think.
Yeah.
Or Conscription.
Crestfallen is the name of the minion.
Crestfallen, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one way to get it.
I think this one, can you rush it out before 5? If you play 6,
you can on turn 1 you can play 3/6. That's already 6. I mean, theoretically, and then you can ramp up to 6 mana with those next turn. In theory, you can get it out on turn 2 if the opponent doesn't take any mana.
Dude, I kind of hope that they nerf the 7 mana dude. Can't remember the name.
Which 7 mana dude? The EMP?
No, the Lionheart one.
The Seer?
The one that equips all the things.
The Alabaster?
Yeah. I think this one is really good in Alabaster. Because you can already play 6. Well, like your build, right? You play 6, you play Silverguard, you play the Lion Boy. The 3 mana Lion thing. I can't remember the name.
Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora. You play Araki. Yeah, exactly. All of those already works with this.
Yeah, I would put it in that deck. That's why I'm so excited, because it's in my favorite Alabaster version, which I made. And it's worth noting that after you placed Grand Strategos, it's not a 5 mana 5/5 anymore. It will turn into a Elix Stormblade, or maybe actually only an Elix Stormblade. Do we have other 6-drops?
Wait, which one transformed?
Itself?
No, it says other friendly.
Okay. So it doesn't transform. Okay.
But if you play Dancing Blades, get 3 damage. At the end of the turn, you have a 7/7 provoke. Okay, that's pretty good.
They only have... you can also get a Prominence, though. Which is also not bad. But
at 6 mana? Yeah, Prominence is pretty good.
But it's not all that good. Yeah, if it sticks, it's good. But you won't get to BBS with it instantly. But it's fine.
But I think every 5-drop that becomes a 4/7 is an upgrade, right?
Yeah. But we should also see... Yeah, it's an upgrade. For sure. Yeah, also Solarius, but Solarius unfortunately rotates out. It was a cool card. Solarius.
So, I think that's it for Grand Strategios. Unlike all of the others, you can really rush it out because you can activate multiple at once. So I think that's going to be interesting. And Jack's True Side may move back into the meta.
Worth noting here is also it's funny to do to play an Ash method after you have the effect activated. Yeah. And then you get 3 6-drops instantly. It's quite cool. I mean, imagine getting 3 Prominence and then a Bloodborne spell next turn, and then they grow even further into some crazy Grandmaster Seer or something. I mean, it's cool.
They all become Serpenti. And it's only Lionheart minions, right?
Yeah, it's true now in Verbo. Maybe Solarius can happen. Depends on how they do the pools. And the same, like Grimes, for example. We don't know how his pool will work after the expansion, if he can still get battle pets or not. Because otherwise it's a massive Grimes buff, which I personally love.
I don't think many people love that.
I think Grimes is my favorite minion. I have a good relationship with Grimes. He gives me golems, big stuff all the time. You know, Juggernauts day and night, every day, every night. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, we hope that with the rotation, that the cards that are rotated out is also removed from all random effects.
Yeah, we hope so. It would make sense, and it would not make sense to get to stay now.
Okay, the last one is the neutral one. The one that we were all hyped about because we wanted it to create new decks for every faction. That would be the dream, right? And it kind of does, but it also is just kind of bad.
It's a meme card.
Yeah, 6 mana.
Yeah, it's a good effect. All the minions have +1/+1 when you play it. And yeah, the trial is met as soon as you have no duplicate cards in your deck. It's also worth saying, even though you play a normal deck, if you play all your, if you have 3 of every minion and you play 2 of each minion, then this would actually get activated. If you have 0 cards left in your deck, you can still play Mythron Wanderer.
Oh, it checks the trial every turn.
Yeah, of course.
All the time. Yeah, we hope so. At least they might have made it so it just checks at the start.
I think not.
Yeah, but I don't think that you can use that as a strategy.
No, of course not. I mean, why would you also buff all your minions +1/+1 if you don't have any minions? Doesn't make any sense. Just saying that if they put some stuff into your deck, you can always play this card as soon as you at one point in the game have no duplicate cards, basically.
I think FIHO or FIHO Core, what you have to consider when you compare this to Hearthstone is one. Hearthstone you have 30 cards. In Duelist you have 40 or 39, I guess. And that's 25% more cards that you have to make work. That's also why in Duelist you have 3 cards as a maximum. In Hearthstone you have 2. So going from 2 to 1 is a much smaller difference than going from 3 to 1, which is crazy in Duelist. Also, because of the Duelist replace mechanic, when you replace a card, you can't get the same card, but you can also not get every duplicate of that card in your deck. So if you're usually when you have, how many different minions do you have in if you put 3 of everything in your deck, I think you have like 12 or 11, I guess 11 different cards in your deck, right? So every time you replace, you have 1 in 10 chance of getting what you want. But with this card in your deck, when you replace, you have 1 in 38. That's a giant difference.
Yeah. And it's just inconsistent as well in general. It's of course it's cool for Highlander decks, but it's more so a meme than anything. I'm sure that we will see some decks with this card, of course.
Yeah.
In the meta, but because it's cool to have this effect and +1/+1. Oh yeah. It's nice. It's unique. For a Duelist, it's unique. I mean, it's a mechanic that we've seen in Hearthstone and other card games as well. But I don't think it will be that powerful. No. +1/+1 is just not that good. For the downside that you get, playing 1 of each card is a really big downside. Especially now when they rotate sets out, you will have even less good cards to play. Yeah. You will have to pick some bad cards.
Yeah, because already now, sometimes you're thinking, there's maybe 1 card that I'm considering putting into my deck. But now you have to 3 double or 2 double it in some case. I guess 2 double is probably the average, because usually you don't play 3 of everything. But you have to double the amount of different good minions. And even probably more than that. You have to put into a deck. So, what I like about it is that I wanted a neutral card that would make it so that you could create an entirely new deck for every faction, and this does that because nobody, unless you're just having fun, right? But nobody's trying to create this kind of deck right now. So now you have 6 new decks that might use this Mythron Wanderer, and I also like it more than the version in Hearthstone, because in Hearthstone you have to draw into it. So in Hearthstone you fuck up your deck, and if you don't draw the card, you just got fucked for no reason, right? It increases luck. Whereas, because this is a Mythron card, you always have it in your starting hand, so it makes it more interesting. You sacrifice something for your deck, but you're always gonna get that back, like the payoff. Whether or not that is enough to win, that's then the problem, right?
Yeah, of course, of course, Shanks will get better with every expansion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it would be even better if we still had Shimstar.
Yeah.
It's all I'm saying, that the less cards, the worse, obviously.
Yeah.
Whereas you cannot make that connection with all the other cards. They can be good on themselves, but this card is good with more standalone good cards. Yeah. But I think it would be fun to play some Highlander decks on ladder as well, just to have some, some troll times, and maybe you find something good. I guess a 5/5 Mercantor is nice.
And yeah, it is. And there is some minions that benefit more from getting more stats, like Ash Method, right? Ash Method is really bad, but when you have +1, wait, how does that work? Does it have +1 in hand? And then you play it, and all of the copies get additional +1, so they actually get +2?
Why would Ash Method get more stats by itself?
It depends on whether, because before when you buffed it in hand with Kara, when you play it, they also get the buffs, right? So if you play, if it buffs in hand, but also on the board, you might be able to get like this kind of double buff, but I'm not sure how that works.
I'm not sure either, because it doesn't say when they're summoned, so I guess...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also it cannot be dispelled, I assume, this effect. So I guess it's just on board effect that all of your minions have +1 on board. I don't know.
I mean, Healing Mystic is all of a sudden pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for 2-drops, it's not going to be that bad. You have Primus Fist, Healing Mystic, Azure Herald, a couple of 2-drops in your faction.
It's about percentage, you have a percentage of stats that you get. If you play 1/6, that's 1 mana for +4/+4. That's super good.
Yeah.
No, not +4/+4, but +4 stats in total. So +2/+2 for 1 mana. And the 6th one, that survive a general attack, which is nice. But again, the fact you only have 1/6, it's tricky.
Which decks do you think are best? Lilith, Swarm, or is it Starhorn, because you can go full aggro and draw new cards, and then you play...
I'm going to tell you that I played in a Highlander tournament, and I actually won that one. And it was with a Raver deck. And I'm telling you, Heartseekers 2/2 is OP.
True.
It doesn't say from your hand, but endless 2/2 Heartseekers that can really escalate. And I think that the Songhai minions are the best. Of course, they lose Katara now, but they have some good stuff.
Yeah. I think I kind of hope that it's good enough to see play. I doubt it. Like, it's good enough to see real play. It's always going to see play, but like
you can always get
top dollar play, right? Because if it's good enough to rarely see top dollar play, there's the mind game of what is my opponent playing? Is he playing Mythron Wanderer, or is he playing the faction Mythron? Because you see they have 6 cards in hand, but you don't know which one it is until they play it. So if you're playing against Cyrix, you're thinking, oh, maybe I have to block his path. You're trying to block his path, and all of a sudden, boom, he buffs his minions instead. So that's kind of interesting.
I think it's also really cool to play this in a Ragnora deck. I mean, these X that cannot get pinged, for example, is quite strong.
True. And when they get buffed, also.
My opinion on Highlander decks, when you pick which faction you want, you look at just simply, you know that your deck will be weaker, so you need a BBS which is strong. And I think the strongest BBSs, especially with this card, will be the Cyrix. Make a 3/3 Dervish is super important. Make 2/2 Heartseekers, or the last one is Ragnora. So basically everything that makes minions, because that will synergize with your Mythron Wanderer.
Even Brome, right? You get a 2/3, so your opponent cannot one-hit it.
Yeah, basically all the BBSs which summon minions are really good. Yeah. And I think for Abyssion, I guess Lilith is nice. 2/2 rare things, but it's better than 1/1s, I suppose.
Yeah, it's pretty good if you have crypto, or the one crypto that you have to draw. The one Furiosa you have to draw. Oh, rip.
This is what I mean. The ambition is super hard because it demands so much synergy for each deck type. And when you have the synergy, it's super strong. But if you don't find your pieces of it, it's not good. Whereas it's always good to have a Heartseeker, for example.
Yeah.
But what about the last faction? I feel like we need one faction. Or does all faction have a general that summons a minion? No, Vannar doesn't. No, Vannar doesn't.
Oh yeah, you're right. Vannar doesn't.
But Vannar should probably be Kara, I feel like, just to
double buff.
It's like D&D style. You always want to max one stat, and it's just, in this case, it's off your stuff, you know?
I think Kara is actually the deck where you might want to play Ash Method. Just to make 3, 4, 5s, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. Jack's True Side will probably be put in every single Highlander deck.
Yeah, just put in good stuff.
Yeah, it's just neutral, that deck, right? You have maybe 10 or 12 cards that you want to play from your faction, and the rest is just the best neutral you can find. I guess I'm gonna play this Golem now, this 4/6, because I have nothing better to do. Yeah. But
there are surprisingly a lot of semi-good cards when you look at making a Highlander deck. You don't need golems, for example. You will have enough because there are also spells and stuff. It's but it won't be the best of the best decks, I'm pretty sure. But it will be good. It will definitely be able to get you to S rank no matter what. I mean, even a basic deck can get you to S rank. Almost.
Yeah, if you're just good enough. It's of course easier with a good deck. So. Yeah.
Overall, I'm excited for the Mythron concept. I like it. I am a little bit afraid, I gotta say. A little bit afraid of the Magmar here, the Magmar minion, if it can really ruin the game completely. But I hope that it isn't so bad. After all, they have to draw minions afterwards.
Yeah. So they have to draw out minions, and then they have to draw 5 buffs. 5 buffs is a lot.
You will have some games where you just sit there with a ton of buffs in your hand, but no minions.
Yeah.
Which is good enough for now to give me hope that it won't be too broken. And even if it's online, then okay, if they rush you in the face with a phalanx, for example, it will die at least instantly. Because it has 1 HP. But okay, maybe not everything will die, but yeah, we'll see. I think it's very close to being balanced at least.
Yep. So that's about it. If for the viewers that follow us, we're still gonna play tomorrow, cast tomorrow, probably. And
no, probably 100%.
Yeah, 100%. I guess if I'm not there, which I think I am, then someone else will be. If they release the rest of the spoilers before Tuesday, then I think we'll be able to cover that also. Late,
but a bit quicker than today. We just wanted to really go deep with the Mythrons now because they're so special.
If not, then I don't think we'll cover them because over the holidays we are social people. We don't have time, I think. Yeah, that's it for the Mythrons. I hope you liked the videos. If you didn't see it all, you can go back on the live thing on Twitch. And I'll also upload it to YouTube, probably at MunkBusiness Gaming. So, thank you guys for watching. And
wait, remember, guys, at least for the guys who play in Team Wars, remember to whisper our hacker with or Dalbos or me or Monk for that matter. Whisper us on Discord if you want us to highlight one of your games that you played.
Yeah.
Then we'll try to cast that. And yeah. Usually all the games that you wish for will be shown if we have the time, and usually we have the time because we have a life, but we don't have that much of a life after all.
Not that much.
Not that much. Don't have that much social life going on. Yeah. So
yeah.
Hopefully see you in there. Don't play too much Vitruvian, guys. It's bad for your health, and see you tomorrow.
Yeah.